Hello everyone, welcome to this week's MP Rundown where we give you the week's top headlines. At the top of the news, President Rodrigo Duterte declared martial law in Mindanao Tuesday night after Marawi City was attacked by Maute Group terrorists just hours before. Duterte made the announcement from Moscow, Russia, where he was on a 4-day official visit, which he had to cut short to fly back to Manila so that he could attend to the Marawi City crisis. The Maute Group launched the brazen attack in Marawi City, brandishing the black ISIS flag in the streets, while burning establishments and reportedly taking some hostages. According to Duterte, military rule in Mindanao will only be for 2 months, but he will not hesitate to extend this to up to a year if the problems on terrorism in the island will not be solved. According to presidential spokesperson Ernesto Abella, President Duterte nevertheless had full confidence in the armed forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police to handle the Marawi crisis. In yet another terrorist attack, Britain experienced its deadliest bombing in almost 12 years when a suicide bomber, who was later identified as 22-year-old Salman Abedi, blew himself up after an Ariana Grande concert at the Manchester Arena in Manchester, England. The bombing claimed the lives of 22 people, including children and young girls. It was the worst of such incidents since 4 British Muslims killed 52 people in suicide bombings on London's transport system back in 2005. The Islamic State, or ISIS, has claimed responsibility for the attack, but authorities found this claim to be unsubstantiated because this was not definite in the actual number of attackers who carried out the attack, the type of explosives used, or how and where the explosive device was planted at the Manchester Arena. Despite these inconsistencies in the ISIS claim, Britain still found it necessary to hike its security level threat from severe to critical. Back here at home, the Philippine National Police vowed to get involved in the security planning of all future major concerts in the Philippines, including Ariana Grande's upcoming concert this August 2017. However, Ms. Grande's camp has announced that the singer has already canceled her world tour for the year. Embattled American President Donald Trump also hugged the headlines this week as he sought to bridge the wide religious divide with his visits to Saudi Arabia and Israel. In his speech in Saudi Arabia, President Trump urged Muslim leaders to take a stand against violence committed in the name of religion. Saudi's King Salman then praised the historic agreement that was made between Gulf monarchies and the United States to take firm measures to ferreting out the sources of financing of terrorism. A plan to establish a dedicated center to fulfill this task that will be based in Riyadh was also unveiled during the event, where the ministers also graced the launch of the Global Center for Combating Extremist Ideology last Sunday. King Salman described Trump's visit to Saudi as a turning point in their relationship with the U.S. as they got to the next level from being partners to strengthening consultations, cooperation, and coordination in all fronts. But not everyone was pleased with Trump's overtures of peace in the region after Iran's newly re-elected president Hassan Rouhani criticized the Americans that it would only further isolate Iran, as he maintained that the region's stability cannot be restored without the involvement of his country. Rouhani also pointed out that Iran had also been involved in the fight against terrorism because Iranian-backed forces have been fighting Islamic State militants in Iraq. On the second leg of his first trip abroad, Trump was optimistic that peace can be forged between Israel and Palestine when he met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu last Monday, then Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas in Bethlehem on Tuesday. Trump said in his speech that the Israeli and Palestinian leaders were ready to reach for peace. What the world is waiting for now, though, are the next steps Trump will propose to follow through with the peace efforts. Trump will be visiting the Vatican today for an audience with Pope Francis with the hope of ironing out differences on issues like immigration and environmental regulations. The pontiff has earlier said that he will look for doors that are not yet closed and find common ground to work on with Trump. Trump's motivation to meet with the Pope stems partly from the need for the world's 3 major religions to rally together against the threat from Islamist militants, acknowledging that it's not a Jewish, Catholic, or Christian problem, but rather a world problem. So those were the top news headlines for this week, but we would like to hear what you have to say, so make sure you use the hashtag MB Rundown in all your comments, status, and tweets. I'll see you again next week.